Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want, and today is my panning project update. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of updates, but we're gonna get into that in a second. So March was not a kind month to me health-wise. Like I said in the intro, if you're new here, I have chronic illnesses. So I had a really bad endometriosis flare that lasted most of March, about 3 weeks. I was completely incapacitated. I spent most of my time asleep with the heating pad. I was like frying my skin off. It was a whole thing. So I did not get tons of stuff done. Let's go through what my March challenges were and what I ended up accomplishing. As for my no pan left behind, I put this stuff away already, so I can't show you. I had 2 rollovers from February, and I used one of them twice. Also, if you weren't here for my last one, I have a little, like, bullet journal here going through. So, let's find the Camp Crystal Lake palette I used 4 shades in. The Mary Jane palette from Melt, I didn't use at all. The Vita palette from Melt, I didn't use at all. Ghost Face Lips, I didn't use at all. The Sea Talk palette, I still have out. The Oden's Eye Sea Talk palette, because I only have 2 shades left to use all of this. I just have to use the pink and this teal, and then I have used everything. So that I'm going to consider complete with that. So that was my no pan left behind. I was hoping to get through all of it and I just didn't. But life happens, you know. For my lip a week, I used 2 of the 4. Yes, 2 of the 4. And then I had 2 lip glosses. I actually have all this stuff here. I had 2 lip glosses I left out, which I did not end up using. I actually could have used one of these for my Aries look for my birthday project I'm doing on Instagram, but I honestly kind of forgot about them. So those did not get used at all. YSL Rebel, or what, YSL 44, I know these have names. I did not get to that either, and there's a hair in it. The ColourPop Most Curious, I did not get to, but what I did wear few times, I think I put this away. Electric Poppy Charlotte Tilbury, I did wear, and we're definitely keeping it. And what I'm wearing today is Thanks It's MAC, and also keeping that. These, I don't know because I didn't get to them. Now getting into the big update is my Panoply. I guess the biggest and the most disappointing. The primer. My first thing was primer, and I picked Professional 5 uses. I completely forgot about this, and I didn't use it at all. Blush, the CoverFX Monochromatic and Warm Honey. I wore this 3 times, and the goal was 5, so almost. I did not have the problem I had with the last CoverFX to where it doesn't blend. It blended and it looked nice. I'm wearing it today. My thing is, it just sort of looks like a bronzer on me, like a mix between a blush and a bronzer, and I don't need it. I have bronzers that I prefer the color of more. I'm not ever really gonna reach for a combination, I don't think. I like the idea of it and the color is pretty, so I'm hesitating to want to declutter it, but I don't know, we'll revisit it in a minute. I'm just gonna set this aside. After that, I rolled a challenge that I was supposed to do 5 times, and they were makeup trends. I did pick them, but never got to them. So I want to keep this and roll it over. And then You Choose eyeliner, 20 uses, the YeYo eyeliner, which I put somewhere because I used it today. So I used this probably 4 times, maybe 5. I'm gonna call it 4. I'm gonna roll this over too, because I'm using it in my waterline. And then lip liner, NYX Girl Bye, 4 uses. I've used this probably 5 or more times. I'm wearing it right now, and I do like it. So I'm going to keep this in my collection. All right, I thought, let me revisit a couple of things real quick, or I guess do some housekeeping things real quick. I kept these 2 liners in from February. I haven't used them at all because I have not felt well. I am not going to roll these over again. I hit my use mark mostly. So I am keeping them, but I'm just going to take them out of rotation. My brain is jumbled. So I don't know if I said I'm not going to roll over any palette except Sea Talk. I just want fresh and new. I don't want to just keep rolling over things because I feel like I'm just going to get bored. So they'll make it back into the rotation at some other point. Let's start there with palettes I'm going to use in April because I didn't want to get up while I was doing it, but I am going to pick my Panoply stuff and my lip products with you rather than just show you. The first palette is Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2. I'm excited to have a Pat McGrath in my project because I haven't used Pat McGrath in a minute. Then we have the Oden's Eye. This has so many names. That's the Saga of Freya, Chapter 2 Cat with the Golden Carriage, but then it's called Cat's Breath palette. It has many names. And it looks like this. This seems like it's just going to be a fun spring use. I picked 5, hoping I'll get through 5, but you know, no clue. Then we have the ColourPop Smoke Show. I think it's blowing smoke now or something. I don't know. Also, if you haven't seen one of my videos before, I use a choice wheel that has all of my palettes in it, and I let it choose rather than picking myself. Then we have Teresa is Lethal by Lethal Cosmetics, which is Teresa's Dead and Lethal Cosmetics collab. Finally, I have the Hocus Pocus 2 All Hallows Eve palette by ColourPop. I think this one will be fun for spring too, even though it's supposed to be like a fall and Halloween. I think they're bright enough colors, they'll just be fun to use. Now let's do the lips. I think I'm gonna roll over this YSL because it's kind of hard to tell. Well, maybe not. It's a bright pink and I feel like it will go well with a couple of those palettes. Do I want to roll over this Alice in Wonderland one? What I usually do is I swatch these on my hand and then kind of like look at some of the palettes. I've been trying to choose things that like go with the palettes. The YSL one I think will definitely go well with Pat McGrath. Kind of want a nude. I think I'm gonna go with this Dark Lord ColourPop. Starting to smell waxy. How about this one? ColourPop lipsticks turn really quick. I stopped buying ColourPop lipsticks because they turn so quickly. So I'm definitely going to keep these. Or should I just declutter them because they stink? With this one, it's just starting. This one, I'm just going to declutter it because it smells. I don't know what ColourPop does to their lipsticks, but I had one a couple years ago that like turned on me within a month. It's kind of funny. This challenge is going to be over quickly because I have very few lip products that aren't lip glosses, and I know I'm keeping all of my lip glosses. These melt glosses, I'm going to keep out this purple one because I think it would look cool with the Smoke Show. Okay, I'm going to just get rid of this ColourPop Star Wars because, like, yes, it's slightly different, but MAC Mocha looks so similar. And then I have a more orangey one from Black Moon that I like far more than Star Wars one. Like, yes, those are different, but once they're on the lip, these two are going to look similar, I think. I'm going to swap out MAC Mocha for that ColourPop one. I've been trying to find a dupe for this Leo. Honestly, I've been trying to find a dupe for like all my Jeffree Star ones, and it seems like Black Moon Cosmetics has the most. So this was my most worn lipstick for a while. I think I'm going to put it out to use it. Then I have this Melted Matte Too Faced. I'm surprised this isn't tried out. Looks very similar to these two, honestly. We did YSL 44, the Melt Cosmetics Gloss in Attitude, which I can put over anything from my collection. I'm not going to be picky. Leo, and then Mocha. And I got rid of two. Actually, I have a third thing to get rid of, which this pains me, but it stinks to high heavens. My Victoria Beckham Posh Gloss in Bikini. It is horrifically expired. I think it's like 2 years old though, so I'm not surprised. So that's getting decluttered as well. Now we're going to do Panoply together. Let's roll. We got 10, which came up to jail, so roll again. 6, which is a challenge again. 5 product face. I don't know what that means. I assume 5. Oh! Use 5 products on my face. I feel silly. Now let's do the second. You choose eye product. Let's do my third one. We'll go back to that. Okay, go to jail. Finish at jail. I'm kind of already working on that, like trying to finish this. So I think I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know that I have anything else that I'm close to finishing that I don't use like every time anyway. Like close to finishing up my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Primer, but I use that every time I do my makeup anyway. So for hair care, I don't use that. I have standard hair care stuff, so I'm going to skip that. Concealer, I only have, see, this is where I kind of get into trouble here. I only have a concealer that I use under my eyes and two that I mix to do the rest of my face. We used my only other concealer, I think. Oh wait, I actually think I have a sample concealer, actually, of this ABH Magic Touch concealer. That is too dark for me, I think. Yes, that is too dark. You can't really tell on camera. Too dark for me. So we're gonna skip that, and I'm just gonna declutter this because it's taking up space and I can't even use it. So roll again. This is taking far longer than I expected. That's why I usually do it off camera. Least used product. Ooh, that is going to be interesting. One more, and then we'll do uses. Move 6 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish at jail again. Okay, I'll pick something else to finish. Let's go to the uses and do you choose eye product and see how many. Choose my use. Okay. I'm choosing the product and the usage. I am not doing 20 times for my least used product because I don't know what that is yet. So we're going to spin that again. 5 times I can do that. Okie doke. So we have my 5 things. So a 5 product face challenge. Oh, and I'm gonna add the 6th one, which was the 5 makeup trends. I got to pick something to finish, least used product, and my choice eye product, and choose the use of that. Let me remove the Bobbi Brown because I'm already working on finishing that, and I have 2 products here. So finish at jail. The first, I'm going to use the Freck OG Freckle Pen. I love this, but I often forget that I have it. I used it a lot when I first got it, and then it kind of got buried in my drawer, and I don't want it to dry up. So we're going to work on finishing that, and this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil. I realized I just don't really like brow pencils very much, and I have most of this left, so I'm going to force myself to use it up. I don't hate the pencil, I just find that I prefer the comb in brow gel, and when I do want to fill it in, I've been using a pomade, but let's use this up. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna finish those. Now I gotta choose an eye product and choose how many times to use it. What is my least used product? Single shadows. And it's the eye product. So I'm going to use This for both categories, actually. But I'm going to do like different things. I have a couple least used products here. I'm going to start with this though, because it'll work well for my everyday makeup. It's a Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Stick. And also, I have been curious about cream shadows and liquid shadows to see if maybe I do like them. So I'm going to use this as my least used product. Then my choice eye product. I'm going to, I think, add something that I can use with the palettes that I chose. So I'm going to go into my Super Shocks. The Creepin' Super Shock. I have it right here. I think it'll go well with a couple of the palettes that I chose. I have to pick a use still. I think I'm just gonna go with a minimum of one time, but however many times it goes with a look. I think that's everything. I really hope I do better this month than I did in March. I mean, I'm already feeling better, so there's that. I'm also feeling good about like the things I'm just kind of decluttering, which on the mindset, just thinking about this, I am going to declutter it. It's just not necessary. It's pretty, but I have plenty of other stuff that's pretty that honestly I just like more. I was thinking about it because if you don't follow me on social media or you didn't see my community post, I broke my phone and had to get a new phone, which means I had to redo a bunch of stuff in it, including my little wheel choice thing. And then I was putting in all my eyeshadow palettes and like I felt completely different going through them compared to the last time I went through them. And I'm starting to get in this mindset of I know exactly what brands I like and I know what I'm excited to reach for. And I know things I would like to add to my collection from specific brands. And I see other stuff on my shelf. And I'm just kind of like, not feeling as excited to have it. Now, that could change once I get to it in my usage, but I will say I have easily, I just easily decluttered stuff just now. I'm finding it easier to be like, you know what, this doesn't actually make me happy anymore. This doesn't fit in my routine. I love having this curated collection, and I'm excited to see where I am by the end of the year. Especially because if I haven't gotten through everything like cheek products and things like that, I'm going to be pretty harsh in my declutter. My eyeshadow palettes, because that's my favorite part of makeup, I do want to use every shade, or at least most shades, before I make a decision. Now, if I get through it and I've used like 3/4 of it and I'm like, this just sucks, I don't want to use it anymore. I did that with something, I think. I'm not going to force myself to if I already know I don't want to keep it. Where like the Sea Talk palette, there was a shade that I wasn't super thrilled with, but everything else has been enjoyable, so I do want to keep the palette, but I want to use the last two shades to give it a proper chance. Other palettes, if I know I'm not loving, I'll do just a look on a bare face just to see how the formula performs, but I don't need to like make a huge stink about it. I just do an eye look and leave it at that. I am just interested to see, over the years I have cut back my collection of like blush and highlighter and things like that, but I am curious to see now that I'm going into it with more of like a cutthroat mindset of I know what I want, I know what my favorite things are, nothing else is welcome here, I suppose. It is kind of refreshing and a little freeing to look at your collection as you're here to serve me. And yes, they were gifts or I spent money on it, but I have to disconnect myself from that because I know with my no and low buys, I have been spending so much less money that in the past I wouldn't have, that I can tell myself to relax. I'm not consuming in the manner that I was at one point, so it's okay to let things go. They either go to a new home, or if they're expired, it goes in the garbage. So I'm essentially gifting things to people for whatever reason. There's other things I keep to do crafty type stuff with, which is nice, but I have to remind myself that this was a lesson, and it's the same for you. If you were over consuming and you're trying to make a change and you have a lot of stuff that you're getting rid of or that's expired, it's nothing to beat yourself up about, but it is a conversation to have with yourself of like, I feel bad about this and I want to make sure I don't repeat that in the future. I don't want to repeat this feeling. I don't want to feel it again of wastefulness or whatever the feeling it is that you're having. I think a lot of lessons in life can only be learned with discomfort, and this is definitely one of those things. When you have a consumer hobby where things do expire and go bad, where there's painting, makeup, whatever. I'm just rambling at this point. Let me know how your projects are going down in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and keep your fingers crossed that I feel well enough for the rest of the month of April to actually get these things done. I'll see you guys next time.